Your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired, McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. I know your accident is the real thing, and they happen to real people.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. There's a lot of talk right now about bigger, but when you've had a wreck, is bigger better?
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. Do you want to be just a case number?
With offices in Huntsville and Scottsboro, we take the time to help.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
At Stella at 5 Points, living isn't just about having an apartment, it's about living artfully. Imagine waking up with the upscale feel of Atlanta or Nashville right here in the heart of Huntsville. Modern, stylish apartments, open layouts, stainless steel appliances, and resort-inspired amenities. Nestled in vibrant 5 Points, you'll enjoy walkability, parks, dining, and quick access to downtown without the chaos. Stella at 5 Points. Live artfully. Live Stella. When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up. Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID, and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month, up to $15 at participating locations. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings, in Newmarket and Hampton Cove, and our new location, now open in Hartselle at 200 Main Street West, downtown.
Have you ever turned your back on God? Have you ever absolutely known the right thing to do and just turned around and walked away in disobedience? I know that I have. Aren't we thankful for our great and merciful God who loves us and forgives us and remembers our sin no more? I'm so thankful that his mercies are fresh every day. I need that, and I suspect you do too. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, and if you're looking for a church home, come see us. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. And check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Remember, don't try this at home, kids. I am a professional.
Tuesday, December 16th. We want you to help us celebrate the holidays by helping the Marines Toys for Tots Foundation. All you have to do is bring an unwrapped toy to Field Day, located off of University Drive on Tuesday, December 16th.
Welcome to the party, pal!
We'll have food and live broadcasts of the Thom Abraham Show, plus the drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton.
1 year membership in the Jelly of the Month Club.
Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
That it is, Edward.
It's the perfect way to celebrate the holidays by helping the Marines Toys for Tots Foundation, presented by Talent Heating and Air. The party starts at 5 p.m.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas from 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, Talent Heating and Air, and Toys for Tots. We'll see you on the 16th.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. That's right.
It is December 8th, 2025. Steve Moulton here with your sports update. After 15 weeks of college football, the playoffs are set. 6 different conferences are represented in the field for the first time in the playoff era since 2014. The playoffs will start Friday, December the 19th, with Alabama at Oklahoma. The first team out was Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish has also opted out of a bowl game, now one of 4 schools that have opted out. In the National Football League, Atlanta Falcon rookie edge James Pierce recorded his 6th sack of the season in Week 14. Pierce has a sack in 5 consecutive games, tied for the 4th longest streak by any rookie since 1982. Falcons fell at home to the Seahawks 37-9. Titans are winners on the road in Cleveland 31-29. Monday Night Football tonight features the 8-4 Eagles taking on the 8-4 Chargers.
Think of me, little types.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I abuse you.
You're tired.
Well, the lunchtime whistle and the morning's finally done. I'm jumping in my car, I'm gonna have a little fun. The Doghouse Network's on my radio dial. Big Dog's taking care of business for a while. If you're listening to another station I don't understand, 'cause nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
Give us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the Junkyard Dogs, the SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Titan Tiger Land, nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Overreaction Monday in the Doghouse. I am your host. So after much gnashing of teeth, we have a college football playoff bracket. And as is the case in college football, there's plenty to debate. Naturally, some of the smoke is directed at the SEC in general because they got 5 teams in the tournament, and Alabama specifically, which got dominated in Atlanta by Georgia. But the Notre Dame-Miami issue has overshadowed even that. And really, where the attention should be is why are we doing this with Tulane and James Madison in there? I mean, clearly, there are at least 8 or 9 more deserving teams and maybe 15 to 20 teams that would beat those guys. I mean, maybe even more. This is, as Tom Luganbill says, inclusion over excellence. I mean, even if you were looking at the middle of the SEC, just the middle of the SEC, forget about the teams that in the SEC that didn't make the tournament, like Texas and Vanderbilt, and how good they might or might not do in the tournament. Look more, just go down a little bit from there. Tennessee, Missouri. How about even teams that were sub 500? Auburn at 5-7, Florida at 4-8. Those teams, they would all be 11-1 or 12-0 against those schedules. JMU played one Power 4 team, Louisville, and got smoked. Look, I got to be honest. Manny Diaz was spot on when he was talking about his 8-5 Duke team. No, they don't belong in there with 5 losses. There's a number of teams that belong. But if it came down to when he was asked about his team's resume versus, say, JMU's resume, he's like, they don't beat anybody like this. Yeah, we got 8 wins, but they're against 7 P4 teams. 7 wins against P4 teams. They didn't even play a P4 team. Well, they played one. They don't have 1 win against the P4 team. But, of course, it wasn't between Duke and JMU because it was the 5 best conference records. And when you are conference champion records. And when they're highest ranked conference champions, 5 highest ranked conference champions. Ridiculous as it sounds. I put the Sun Belt and the American champion in the tournament. Inclusion over excellence. I mean, Tulane played 2 Power 4 teams. They played the worst team in the Big Ten, and that was a good win over Northwestern. And they played Ole Miss and got smoked by 35. And now they'll play Ole Miss again. As for the argument about Notre Dame and Miami, the correct answer, Notre Dame or Miami, Notre Dame or Miami, Notre Dame or Miami, the correct answer is Vanderbilt, who played a tougher schedule than both of them. Vandy's schedule was mid-20s. Notre Dame and Miami's schedule was mid-40s. And then there's Texas, the mighty Longhorns, who blew their chance in Gainesville back in October. And to be honest, it's hard to shed a tear for a team that got smoked by Georgia by 25 points at Georgia. And you might be saying, well, wait, didn't Georgia beat Alabama by 21 on Saturday? Oh, yeah, they did, resoundingly so. But you can't ignore that the Tide walked into Athens and handed the Dogs their only loss of the season. And by virtue of the Dogs beating Alabama and becoming SEC champs, they actually move up to number 3, which makes Alabama's loss to the Dogs or win over the Dogs in the middle of the season look even better. Because now instead of beating the number 5 team, they beat the number 3 team. I mean, it's goofy the way these data points work. So there's lots to unpack here with the bracket. So I've left the entire first hour open for you to get in and state your case. So you can go ahead, get in, state your case. No matter if you're listening in Huntsville or Winchester or Nashville or Murfreesboro over the air, or if you're listening online outside of Tennessee Valley, the phone number is the same for everyone. 256-576-4977. Go ahead and jump on in. Your text window is open as well. We will read and react to those on the air. 7329-TA-SHOW, 732-982-7469. And finally, you can watch the show as well on WZZN TV. John telling me that our video feed is a little bit spotty. I'm not sure why that is, but, we'll do the best we can with that. If that's what the case is, do what we can do. Got some broadcasting from the moon today. Got a little, little goofy movements in there. You never know what it is or why it is. You can get the feed to that at Thom Abraham Show on the X. It's WZZN TV on the YouTube. You can also watch on the Facebook. Our usual Monday guest is Tom Luganbill. He's moved to tomorrow to open up this first hour for you. And Kennington Lloyd Smith of the AP in Tuscaloosa, who normally joins us on Tuesdays, is coming up today at the top of the one. Now let's take care of some show business. And beat the big dog. I had my first losing weekend of the year. Not losing to you guys weekend of the year. My first weekend of the year where I had a losing weekend in my 6 picks. 13 weeks into the season. And I finally had a losing weekend. I went 2-4 after the Packers covered the 6.5-point spread by a half point yesterday. I had the Bears. I didn't think the Bears would win. I thought the game would be tighter than what it was. But Jacob, our opponent this week, also went 2-4. So nothing for Jacob. He does not get tickets to Tennessee and Illinois in the Liberty Mutual Music City Bowl. Grasshopper went 3-3. So he gained a game on the field. So now I am 55-35 against the spread. 20 games over against the spread. This got me all choked up. I mean, that's not bad. 20 games over against the spread's not bad. That'll make you some cake. You guys are 52-39. That's not bad either. It's very good. 52-39. It's 3 back of me, but it's very good. Grasshopper is now 45-45. He continues to sit directly on the fence. In a Friday trifecta, we put a ton of points up there. We really did. But we made it a pure trifecta. Look, there's risk reward. If I'm going to give you a lot of points, you got to hit a trifecta. So remember, you had to hit the 3 college championship games for 6 points. 6 points. And then if you added the 1 NFL game to that, I doubled it to 12 points. Now, some people were upset. It's like, this sucks. I got to hit all 3? Yeah, it's a trifecta. You got to be good. We're talking about a $10,000 prize here. You got to hit a trifecta once in a while. I can't always just give you points for getting games right. So the leaders left the door open a little bit. And 5 of you hit the trifecta, but all 5 who hit the trifecta had the Bears plus 6.5, and they lost by 7, 28-21. So congrats to Josh Chambers, my cousin Vinny, Kramer, Jack Shrimsher, and Melinda Burrow, who's a chick. And she has now tied Mongo and Bama Brad in second place, 2 points behind Fritz, who still holds the lead. I mean, we got a long way to go on that deal. But it is definitely, As a great man once said.
I can assure you that the gap is closing.
Yeah. Fritz with 28, Mongo, Mel, Bama Brad with 26, Jordan 24, Jack 23, Kramer 23, Badger Larry 21, Richard 20, Kyle 20, Crackho 20, Papa T and Allison 19, the Phillip with 18, my cousin Vinny with 18. I mean, there's 60, 65 people on the board right now. And if you're on the board, you got a shot. I guarantee you that. You know, you got to be on the board to have a shot. Because remember, we will do nail the score. We will do nail the score at the end. Conference or national championship game and Super Bowl. Nail the score will be worth some serious points. But you got to be on the board to play nail the score. So keep getting in. Like 8 weeks to go in that Friday trifecta. Remember, a week from tomorrow, it's WZZN and Huntsville's annual Toy Drive Christmas party at Field Day, where you bring an unwrapped toy for Toys for Tots, and you get fed at the taco bar and a free round of mini golf. We'll also have some raffle items to give away. Everyone who shows up with a toy or a donation gets a raffle ticket. This is a family-friendly event, so bring the entire family. We're going to have great raffle prizes. Just by bringing a gift, we'll have great raffle prizes. Look, I started this in Florida in 2001. We used to literally go to the hospital. We used to collect the toys, and then I would go to the children's hospital with bags and bags of toys, and I would dress up as Santa Claus. And I would go in, and I would distribute these toys as Santa Claus. Now, Santa Claus may make an appearance at this one. Some of you longtime listeners of this show would remember me doing this in Nashville, remember me doing this in Huntsville in the past, remember the Boys and Girls Club, remember the parties that we used to have, and we've been having great parties ever since. It was something that we started with this show that expanded to the radio station. Okay, that's the way it was. I get that it's been a tough year for some people. I get that there was a government shutdown and a lot of your government workers. I understand all of that. But I'm just asking you to help. That's all. I'm just asking you to help. Be good to have a nice big pile of toys there. So if you can help out, that'd be wonderful. All right. And that's a week from tomorrow, Field Day. Lots of cool things to do there, like mini bowling. I don't even know what that is. Are they talking about ski? What are they talking? What's mini bowling? Maybe Grasshopper can tell us about that. He's back in Mission Control playing the Play Doesn't Matter to Stacks and Wax. Answer the phone. Keeping us on the air. Pretty stoked probably for beating the big dog this week.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
I have a sentimental weakness for my children, and I spoil them, as you can see. They talk when they should listen.
Give me back my son!
I don't like violence, Thom. I'm a businessman.
I'm telling you, there's an embarrassing press conference in that kid's future.
You ain't first, you're last.
Do you hear the grasshopper, which is at your feet?
Old man, how is it that you hear these things?
Young man, how is it that you do not?
As quickly as you can, snatch the pebble from my hand. When you can take the pebble from my hand, it will be time for you to leave.
I'd like to thank my parents. I'd like to thank my coach. And I'd really like to thank my browser for helping me, get all this knowledge. And
Chat GPT too. I mean, did you use that Chat GPT or no?
No. But it was a big win against Grumpy in fantasy football, and now I.
Oh, you beat Grumpy in fantasy football. He was like 10-2.
Yeah, and I did it. So
good job by you.
I got a phone line, so
I got eliminated. I got eliminated from the playoffs into fantasy football. I'm out of the playoffs. So, John, you had the Detroit Lions. You got a win there. You had Georgia and you had Indiana. So those were your wins. You had BYU. John was hoping he went 4-2.
Yeah.
He thought he went 4-2. He's like texting me last night. You had BYU, and then you had the Bears, and then you had the Browns, who I am convinced tanked the game.
Yeah.
Because for the life of me, and good job by the Titans running the ball. I mean, the Titans go out there and run the ball for 200 yards. I mean, it was ridiculous. Against a really good Browns defense, the Titans shredded them with the running game. But Shedeur Sanders outplayed Cam Ward. I mean, let's just be honest about it. I mean, Shedeur Sanders, most of what he did, still sometimes held the ball too long, still took a couple of bad sacks. But for the most part, the kid threw for 366 yards. Now, he only completed half his passes, but he dropped some dimes in there, especially on a couple of touchdown passes to tight ends. Shedeur Sanders played pretty well in that game. But you tell me, John, how on what planet do you, down 14 with 10 minutes to go in the game, down 14 with 10 minutes to go in the game, you score a touchdown, right? You can kick the extra point to make it a 7-point game, and you go for 2?
Yeah.
And you can't even get the snap off.
Nope.
You go for 2, and Sanders fumbles the snap. You can't even get the play off. So now you're down by 8. And when you score the next touch, you got all the momentum. Your defense is stopping them. You're coming down the field. You're stoning them on defense. You going right down the field. You score again. You got all the momentum. Now you got to go for 2 again. You take the quarterback off the field. You run a cocky-mamie trick play with the running back that doesn't handle the ball normally, except for, taking handoffs. And that 2-point conversion doesn't work either. And you lose the game by 2. They kick 2 extra points. That game goes to overtime, 35-35.
Yeah.
Right? And you're looking at one team's got all the momentum. I mean, is there any question in anybody's mind, even if you're a Titan fan, is there any question in anybody's mind that if that game goes to overtime, Cleveland's winning that game in overtime?
Yeah.
Because they were stoning them on defense and they were moving the ball on offense.
Yeah.
I have no idea other than tank job. I mean, I'm being honest with you. I'm not conspiracy guy. Tank job.
Oh, it would have went into overtime 31-31, but
or 31-31, not 35.
Regardless, it seemed a little weird to do it the first time around whenever there was like 4 or 5 minutes still on the clock.
Oh, there was more than that.
And then doing it the second time and not having the guy that was able to bring you down the field in the form of Shedeur Sanders out there. Instead, you want to try and do just a wildcat to Quinshon Judkins and not even have him go up the middle, which is
he was supposed to hand it off to the kid coming around on a reverse.
Yeah, and it was supposed to
and
go,
he didn't hand it off. He just totally screwed the pooch on that play altogether.
It was Larvadan. He was coming across from South Carolina, and he would have had a lane as well. I see a lot of people speculating.
There was nobody there.
He was supposed to pass the ball and all that stuff. He had a wide open lane to go through and get that 2-point conversion.
I think he was supposed to actually hand it to him. I think he missed the handoff to Larvadan. It was a reverse. It wasn't a throwback. He was supposed to take the snap.
No. He was supposed to toss it. He was just
toss it to Larvadan.
Yeah.
He should have tossed it to Larvadan.
Totally
when
forgot.
they scored 427. Yeah. 427 and 103. At 427, you're not going for 2. I mean, it's coaching malpractice.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, but congrats to the Titans, who didn't screw up their spot as right now sitting on top of being on the clock. So they didn't screw up because the Saints walked into the Bucs and beat them.
Browns got to be the only team that's lost multiple games to 1-win teams. They've got to be the only team.
Yeah,
it's the craziest thing. But I wasn't just talking to. I had phone lines, but I wasn't just saying that I beat Grumpy just to say, I beat Grumpy. But it was bigger than that, because if I lost, then there was a chance that somebody else, because of our insane league, how close it is with the playoff race right now, I would have probably been out. So I had to take things into my own hand.
I got eliminated.
We saw that coming. I had both Jordan Love and Christian Watson in there. And I had to take out Mahomes before. It took me an hour and a half to just get this whole thing straightened out. And it looked like I was going to just lose. And then whenever those guys came in, those 2 touchdowns that they had all worked out. I felt like the smartest guy alive.
Well, I felt like I was pretty smart because I took David Njoku out.
Yeah.
And I traded him out for Harold Fanning Jr.
It's about time.
Who had it. Well, yeah. I mean, it didn't matter because I'm getting whacked and I suck. But Fanning had 8 catches for 114 yards and a touch. So they did a good job there with that tight end. Cam Ward yesterday, exactly 50%. He was 14 of 28 for 117 yards. Only got sacked once. So credit. I mean, they had given up more sacks than anybody else in the NFL. And Cam Ward only got sacked once in that game. And by, of course, Myles Garrett. But Sanders goes 23 of 42, so just a little better than 50%. 364, was sacked twice, a couple of touchdowns. Now, a couple of those were catch and run. They had a lot of yards after catch, ton of yards after catch in that game for the Browns. But goodness gracious almighty. I mean, and a good job defensively by the Titans against the run. They shut down Junkins, who only had 26 yards on 14 carries. So that was a good job done by them all around. But Tony Pollard started a game, 25 carries, 161 yards, including that 65-yard touchdown run. And then he had another one that was, 30 yards, something like that. So good job by the Titans. Have the Falcons fired Raheem Morris yet? No. That has to happen. I mean, that has to happen. Just rip the Band-Aid off. That's a disgrace. That's a disgrace. All right, we'll get a break. We'll come back, start taking your phone calls. I got a lot of bracket thoughts I want to get to. I got SEC championship game thoughts. It was the weirdest for me emotionally, and I've been to, 10, 12, 15 SEC championship games. I don't know how many I've been to. I didn't even bother pulling a credential. I didn't even bother applying for my credential. I got my thing, apply for your credential. I didn't even bother applying for it. And it was just the weirdest feeling watching that game. I'll explain. Then we got to take a deeper look at the bracket. Phone lines are open. I left the first hour open for you, so go ahead and use them. Make your case. 256-576-4977 to get you in. It's Thom Abraham Show. Back with more right after this.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. When you need service on your vehicle, whether it's a Ford or any other make, you want to get into Woody Anderson Ford, where their expert service technicians will get it diagnosed and repaired right away, the right way. And while you are there, check out all the new and pre-owned vehicles at Woody Anderson as well. They are ready to make you the best deal possible. Visit Woody Anderson Ford today.
Woody Anderson Ford on Jordan Lane in Huntsville, Hughes Road in Madison, and online at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Thom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he can take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well, because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
You'll love the expanded wine selection at Liquor Express. From special occasion to everyday table wines, they've got what you need. Meet your friends at the largest tap wall in Alabama with 105 rotating selections. Then take home a growler full of your favorite or choose from our 1,000 canned or bottled beers. Need help stocking your bar or planning your party? Liquor Express has a knowledgeable, professional in-house staff that can assist you with anything from your bar to the planning of your special event. Visit liquorexpress.net for tasting specials, giveaways, and classes.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Remember, don't try this at home, kids. I am a professional.
Tuesday, December 16th, we want you to help us celebrate the holidays by helping the Marines Toys for Tots Foundation. All you have to do is bring an unwrapped toy to Field Day, located off of University Drive on Tuesday, December 16th.
Welcome to the party, pal!
We'll have food and live broadcasts of the Thom Abraham Show, plus the drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton.
1 year membership in the Jelly of the Month Club.
Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
That it is, Edward.
It's the perfect way to celebrate the holidays by helping the Marines Toys for Tots Foundation, presented by Talent Heating and Air. The party starts at 5 p.m.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas from 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, Talent Heating and Air, and Toys for Tots. We'll see you on the 16th.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. That's right.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by my friends at All About Water LLC. Well, you can learn more about them at allaboutwaterllc.com. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but look, they do everything that has anything to do with water, whether it's building a pond or refreshing your pond or a water feature on your property or drainage on your property. Whatever it is involving water, they do it. That includes irrigation, maintenance of your irrigation, installation of irrigation. All About Water LLC. One of my favorite bumps, I don't know why. Always makes my head do this here. John, how's the video aspect of this whole
I can see your head
menagerie working?
It's looking good. It's looking
It's
good
getting
now.
a little bit better?
Yeah, it's looking good.
Text window. You better mention the middle of the Big Ten as well when you're talking about JMU and Tulane being in there. Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. I mean, you look at the, where's the middle of the 10? Let's say Michigan. We'll start at Michigan at 9-3, 7-2 in the league. Michigan, Iowa, maybe Washington. I mean, it drops off pretty fast. Michigan, Iowa, Washington, Minnesota. I bet all of those teams are no worse than 11-1. Seriously, 11-1. Now, I get it that it's not like the committee chose JMU and Tulane over all of these much more deserving teams. I get that. What they did was they followed the rule that says the 5 highest ranked conference champs go to the playoff. That's got to go away. That's got to go away. And let me tell you how much the College Football Playoff Committee likes those games. Okay? Look what they did. Look what they did with the opening round. So the opening round is on Friday the 19th and Saturday the 20th. The NFL is playing on Saturday the 20th as well. So what are the 2 best games? Alabama, Oklahoma. By the way, Alabama's a 1.5, 2-point favorite at Oklahoma. How? Why? How is Oklahoma not a 3.5 point favorite the way Bama's playing since the Tennessee game? Now, again, if the New England Patriots lose their last 2 games of the regular season, they still get to go to the playoffs because it's the full body of work. And that's what happened with Alabama. It's the full body of work. They stumbled to the finish line, there's no doubt. But it's the full body of work. Nobody's played a harder schedule of any of these teams. Nobody has more wins against top 10, top 15, top 30, and top 40 teams. Nobody. So they're in. But what are the 2 best games? Alabama and Oklahoma, where Bama is a 1.5, 2-point favorite. And the next best game is the Miami-Texas A&M game, where Miami is getting 3.5 at Texas A&M. Those are the 2 best games, because the other 2, Oregon is a 21.5-point favorite over JMU. And Ole Miss, who beat Tulane by 35 already this season, is a 16.5-point favorite over Tulane. So what they did was they put Alabama and Oklahoma on Friday night. That used to be the death knell spot. That's where you put your garbage game. But they're like, oh, no, wait a minute. There's no NFL game to go up against. All there is to go up against is Tom Abraham's Deacon's party at Deacon Billy's house. What? They put Alabama and Oklahoma on then? At the Deacon's party? Billy, you better get that 80-inch TV fired up and ready to go 7 o'clock. So that game, and then they put Miami and Texas A&M on at noon on Saturday, Eastern time, 11 o'clock Central time is when they put that game on. The Miami-Texas A&M game. And then they put the Tulane-Ole Miss game on at 2:30 when the Eagles and the Commanders are playing. Now, the Commanders suck this year, but it's still the NFL. It's still Philadelphia. It's Philadelphia and Washington. Big game in the NFL. We'll throw the Ole Miss-Tulane game there. And then what are we going to do with JMU and Oregon? Let's put that game on 6:30 Saturday night at the same time the Packers and the Bears kick off. Round 2 for the NFC North. You see what they did? John, they just sacrificed. Not only that, they sold them to TNT. He said, here, you get this game. It's going to be on True TV and TNT. They took the Oregon JMU game and the Ole Miss Tulane game and threw them up against the NFL. Who's watching Oregon and JMU when the Packers are playing the Bears?
You want to hide those games. That's why they're hiding them in the
How did they hit them? They buried them. And they put Alabama and Oklahoma on Friday night. And then at 11 o'clock in the morning on Saturday when there's no NFL, we'll get Texas A&M and Miami. Then we're going to watch the NFL. We're not going to watch Tulane and JMU play football games. Bama Bud is up. Bama Bud, welcome to the show. How are you? Turn your radio down, Bama Bud. There's a delay.
Doing great, Tom. Sorry about that.
Yeah, turn that radio down. There you go.
I turned it off. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm real concerned about Alabama's team. It seems like we don't have any leaders. Starting from the coach all the way down. And I know there's quite a few guys. Simpson looked like a deer in the headlights the whole game against Georgia. If I know what our old coach would have done, I think he would have probably pulled him to Austin Mack or Devon Russell in there. What do you think?
Bud, you're breaking up bad. Try back and try calling us back, Bud, and get you in there. I know what you're saying. I want to say this first. I think that Ty Simpson's an outstanding leader. Okay. And I also think that Kalen DeBoer and the staff, to say that there's no leadership deciding with the staff. And remember, this is the team that finished first in the SEC. Okay. I mean, I know that there's all this recency bias and what happened and what Saturday did. It didn't change the fact that they were 10-2 overall, 7-1 in the SEC, and the 1 seed That's why they had the crimson jerseys on Saturday. They were the 1 seed in the SEC. So let's first of all say, look, let's not criticize. How can we criticize leadership? They won the regular season of the SEC. They were the 1 seed. All right. Then they got smoked by Georgia, which was semi-predictable. I mean, I called it on this show on Friday. I called it on the Bama Tailgate show. We had Alphonse Taylor on with us. We had Jake Coker on with us. It was Mick Gillespie, me, Jake Coker, and Alphonse Taylor. And, of course, they're all picking Alabama. Like, hey, Tom, what are you going to pick? I'm like, I'm going to tell you right now, Georgia's going to win this game. Going to win this game. And it might not be pretty, and it wasn't. Now, having said that, let me say this. I thought they should have pulled Ty Simpson at halftime as well. I thought that at that particular, now it could have changed the whole dynamic going forward. What are you telling the team? Yada, yada, yada. When Nick Saban did it, when they were down, 13-0? And Nick Saban did it in the national championship game, there was nothing else to come. All there was, he benched Jalen Hurts, put Tua Tagovailoa in there. They win the Natty, and we'll deal with this at spring ball. And, of course, Tua ends up winning the job. Jalen Hurts ends up being his backup. Jalen Hurts comes in when Tua gets hurt, wins the SEC championship game, and the rest is history. And now they're both having very nice careers in the NFL. Jalen Hurts is having a better career, but they're both very much functional NFL quarterbacks. So in this case, if you bench Ty Simpson and you come in and you say Keelan Russell, I say either one. I mean, what I have seen this season of Austin Mack and Keelan Russell is they both can ball. They were down 14-0. Maybe it sparks things. Maybe it changes things. Maybe one of those guys who are both more mobile, and Ty's not immobile. Ty looks like he's shell-shocked. I love that kid. I'm going to tell you right now, I love that kid. I love what he stands for. I think he's just one of the classiest people in all of college football. He looks shell-shocked to me. All right? I would have made the move just to try and spark the team, just to try and change things, because I don't think the drop-off is that dramatic. And I thought that Kalen DeBoer could have went Nick Saban there and come out in the second half with Austin Mack or Keelan Russell and deal with the consequences later. Because if Austin Mack or Keelan Russell comes in there and you come back and you're very competitive in that game, because they were one more score away from maybe not getting, everybody said it didn't matter what happened in that game, they were going to be in. Well, what if it was 28-0 or 21-0 or 35-7? Should Georgia have continued to try and pound and tack one more on and make it 35-7 and try and get Alabama out of the playoff? Would that even have mattered? Because at 14-0, I'm just saying, honest to God, I'm sitting there on the couch and I'm melancholy. I'm like, why do I feel this way? I'm watching an SEC championship game, and I'm like, yeah, come back. It beat 27-17. It's all right. No big deal. We'll see you in 2 weeks. It was the weirdest feeling. I mean, stop me if I'm lying. Anybody else feel that way? I'm watching the SEC championship game, and it felt like, I would have made the move. I thought that Kalen DeBoer, that was a chance for him to say, you know what, let's make a move. And then you could have dealt with the fallout. So if Austin Mack or Keelan Russell played great, then okay, fine. You got 2 weeks to figure it out before you go to Oklahoma or wherever you're going to go for the playoff. And God forbid they came back and won the game. Then you'd have a month. I mean, it was 14-0. They handed the ball off 7 times in the game. 7. And I get that Kirk Herbstreit was all like, wow, I can't believe, look at Alabama's trying to establish the run. Yes, they started a couple of series by handing the ball off and first down, second down, and trying to 7 in the entire game. And you say, well, dog, they're getting blown out 21-0. It wasn't 21-0 until 35 minutes into the game. Game time. That was the middle. It was 10 minutes to go in the third quarter when Georgia goes up 21-0. Okay, now I get it. Now you're going to have to throw every down just about. But it was 14-0 at the half. 7 times they handed the ball off. 7. You say, no, Ty Simpson at 16. No, he's running for his life. Everybody's like, oh, minus 2 yards rushing. Well, that's because of the sacks. 29 yards in sacks go against him. 7 times, though, he turned and handed it to a running back. 7. Where's the commitment? Having said that, we have to figure out a way. We have got to get these conference championship games meaning something. We got to do it. We have to. I don't know what the long-term plan is. It's either they got to go away or they've got to mean something. They've got to be a part of the playoff system, possibly. I don't know. I don't know how you do it. Unless you have super conferences and they play for divisions, and then if they win their division, I don't know. I don't know if you have to have a 4-team playoff in the division. Maybe Tony Petitti was onto something. Maybe the SEC and the Big Ten, and you take the top 6 teams and they have a playoff to determine their champion, and that's the first 2 rounds of the playoff. Or you have the 2 teams that go to the championship game are in, and then you have 3 play 6 and 4 plays 5 for 2 more spots in the playoff. They got to figure out a way to make them mean something. And then you got the whole issue. We got a whole nother problem. Notre Dame, shame on you, okay? Shame on you, Notre Dame, for bailing out of the bowl system. Bowl system could be in serious trouble. And I love the bowls. The bowls are a thing. All it is an extra football game. It's a 13th game. You say, these bowls are meaningless. What are you talking about? Tennessee hasn't played a meaningful game in a month and a half, 2 months. But this is no more. It's just another game. It's another opportunity to prepare your team, to practice, to go out there and enjoy. In their case, Nashville, they're going to play against Illinois. Tennessee and Illinois haven't played. Most of the teams that are playing in bowl games all season long, back when we had 4 teams going to the playoff or 2 teams going to bowl games, have always been meaningless in terms of the big picture, except for you can go win a bowl game. When my son was part of the staff at Middle Tennessee and they went down to New Orleans and won the New Orleans Bowl, and they got a watch and a ring and all that kind of stuff, that was a good time that week. They enjoyed that. They went down there and beat Southern Miss. They thoroughly enjoyed that. The week in New Orleans, it was the New Orleans Bowl. It was a meaningless game. They're all meaningless games. It's just a 13th game. It's just another game. You have a winning record or you don't have a losing record. You go 6-6 or better, and you get to go play a 13th game. That's all. You get to go visit El Paso. You get to go to Jacksonville for a week, and they have a parade, and they have a dinner, and then you get swag bag, and then it's just a game, a 13th game. But now, first of all, we got all these teams firing their coaches, and they're making moves. Okay, so Kansas State and Iowa State don't have coaches. Okay, so they opted out. They got fined $500,000 by the Big 12. Those are 2 Big 12 bowl teams that opted out of playing in bowl games, K-State and Iowa State. Well, they got a makeshift staff, and they've got this, and why? It's 15 practices. Build some momentum for the new guy. They've already announced who the coaches are going to be, or they're in the process of it. Can't take 15 practices. You can't work with the kids that are in it. You can't start building towards the new year. Nah, to hell with it. We're not going to play. But Notre Dame, you're upset because they didn't let you in the tournament. I don't know what the heck happened there. That's a whole nother discussion. Notre Dame was 8 spots ahead of Miami 5 weeks ago. They both blew out everybody that they played the rest of the way. They both blew them all out. And somehow Miami moved up and then jumped over Notre Dame, who they beat on the field. They played the same. They both played garbage schedules, 42 and 44, most difficult schedule. And eventually, Notre Dame got jumped by okay, fine. You know what, Notre Dame? Go play. How about Notre Dame and Michigan in a bowl game? How fun would that have been? They haven't played in a few years. How about Notre Dame and Michigan in a bowl game, or Notre Dame and Texas playing in a bowl game? All right, show us what you got, Notre Dame. Or are you afraid you're going to be like Florida State, who got snubbed and then one got beat by 60 by Georgia? Philip is up. Philip, welcome to the show. How are you?
What?
You're up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look, your sport is in trouble, dude.
Not in trouble. It's got more viewers than they've ever had. They had the biggest year ever. It's not in trouble.
It might have. Does it have as many viewers as the NFL?
Nothing has as many viewers as the NFL. It has more viewers than everything but the NFL. Every other sport, NASCAR, college basketball, NBA, NHL, add them all up together, and they don't equal what college football gets.
Do you want it to have as many viewers as the NFL?
It'll never have as viewers as the NFL. It would never have as many viewers as.
You want it to?
Well,
is that
yeah,
Is that how you raised your kids?
No, but listen, understand the dynamic. Understand the dynamic that the NFL outside of Green Bay and Buffalo is all in major cities, whereas college football is in mostly college towns. So it'll never have, when the New York Giants play and they suck, even though they suck, they get 8 million people watching a game because they're in New York City. You know what I mean? You don't have that when it's Baton Rouge and Tuscaloosa and Auburn and these towns that are little towns. You don't have that same, that you have a major city. Chicago plays, whether they're good or Dallas is not going to make the playoffs now. And yet, when every time the Dallas Cowboys play, half of the people in Dallas are watching the game. That's more people than, that are in any 10 college towns. Anyway, go ahead.
I completely disagree with that argument. I completely disagree with that argument. That's ridiculous. Thom, college football has got to even the playing field, and they will rival the NFL.
So what's the solution? How do you do it? How do you do it? You can't just say it. You got to have a solution. What's the solution? There's 136 teams. How do you do that? You can't do it with 136. What you'd have to do is cut the top off and take 40 or 70 at the most and say, this is the league right here. Just like the NFL has 32, maybe college football should have 60. I don't know what the number is.
Number one, you got to have a commissioner.
Okay.
You got to have a commissioner. A commissioner that sets the schedules. You set the schedules. Number two, you are not allowed to have whatever your number is for the playoff, whatever that number is. We're going to have this amount of teams. No conference has more teams than any other conference.
Why?
In the playoffs.
Why? What if a conference is better than another conference?
Because people like you spit on and laugh at and harass and call names, of this conference and that conference because they're not as good as this conference. Duh. They never will be as good until it is a fair and equitable situation for the kid who grew up in whatever. It doesn't matter where. Doesn't decide. I'm an NFL prospect. I'm going to travel across the country and play in that conference because I have a better shot at being in the postseason.
All right, so but let me put it in your NFL. And listen, I know you're an NFL guy. Is it fair that 3 of the 4 teams in the NFC North should get to go to the playoffs? That's not fair. Why is it fair that the Packers, the Bears, and the Lions are all playoff teams when only one team from the NFC East gets to go? Is that fair? Oh, come on, that's a bad argument.
That's completely fair. That is a fair and equitable system.
Well, then they should be able to have 5 from the SEC and 1 from the Big 12.
No. You are wrong.
Okay.
No. It's wrong.
Okay.
All
right.
It's just wrong.
All right. I got to get the break in here. They're going to play the music on me if I don't. I understand where you're coming from. Finish it up in a text, and we'll come back. Wilmer and Dan, stay there if you can. We'll try and get you in on the other side. It's the Thom Abraham Show. Back with more right after this.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Alabama Crimson Tide will take on Oklahoma at Memorial Stadium in Norman on December the 19th in the first round of the college football playoff. The Crimson Tide 25-1 to win the national title, a 1.5 favorite to beat Oklahoma with a total of 41.5. The winner moves on to meet Indiana in the Rose Bowl. The Hoosiers are plus 250, the second choice behind the favorite Ohio State Buckeyes to win the national title. The Buckeyes are plus 240. Troy and Jacksonville State meet in the Salute to Veterans Bowl, the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama on Tuesday, December the 16th. Troy, the 3-point favorite over the Gamecocks, 51.5 the total. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. And with our Workhorse Special promotion, that new 255 CTL is just $73,655, but it's only good through December 31st. Prices increase in January, so lock in your savings now and take advantage of year-end tax benefits to maximize your investment. Don't wait. The best time to buy that new Cat 255 is today. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by Owen Home Appliance, the sponsors of the Owen Home Appliance Friday Trifecta all fall long. Fall is here, and I know you hunters out there are looking for a new freezer to put this year's harvest in. Owen Home Appliance has you covered with the best in the business for chest freezers, even some with like real tree camo on them. Even if you're not a hunter, the deals you'll find at Owen Home Appliance are second to none. You need to check out the interactive showroom in Lacey Springs, or just go to owenhomeappliance.com to learn more. That's Owen Home Appliance Center. All right, coming up, top of the hour. Kennington, Lloyd, Smith. I wish that Philip had called earlier, and Wolverine Dan, I could have got them in, but I was on that epic rant. And I understand what Philip is saying, but it still doesn't make sense. You're never going to have that kind of equity in college football. It just doesn't make sense. Lots more to do, though. Kennington, Lloyd Smith on his take on Alabama as they head to Oklahoma as the favorite. Wow. Back with more right after this Thom Abraham Show.
Well-informed truck and SUV buyers wait all year for this moment because they know the year-end deals are worth the wait. Hi, folks. Don Wessels for Woody Anderson Ford, and these are the final days of our year-end sales event. We've got nearly 700 new Fords ready for you, and it's very likely you'll find exactly what you're looking for. Drive home with no payments for 90 days, plus get financing as low as 0% for 60 months on the 25 F-150, Explorer, Escape, Transit Van, and the Lightning. Or choose one of our zero-down 36-month leases starting at just $399 on our most popular models, plus 2 years of complimentary maintenance. First payment due at signing, no security deposit, plus tax, tag, title, and fees with approved credit. Offer ends 12/31. This is as good as it gets. No payments for 90 days, 0% for 60 months, and no money down $399 leases. The end of the year is here, and we've got the deals that make that wait worthwhile. Only at Woody Anderson Ford. I'm Don Wessels, and we can't wait to see you.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Hey folks, Bob Baumhauer here. We're extremely proud that Baumhauer's Victory Grill has been serving Alabama for 43 legendary years. Our motto is legendary fun, legendary food, and we strive to make every dining experience a special one for all of our guests. Our menu features delicious, always fresh and scratch-made in-house recipes. And of course, our award-winning wings and sauces. And don't forget, our happy hour and halftime daily specials cannot be beat. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
Sure, Valley Equipment Rental takes care of the homeowner and his needs, but how about the pros out there? Well, Valley Equipment has the big stuff as well. The equipment you need to get any job done. I'm talking about the big track hoe excavators, from the 30,000-pound mid-size one to the big boy 50,000-pound units. Need a dozer on the job? Well, they've got them up to 105 horsepower, and that's a good-sized machine. Plus, Valley Equipment has more lifts than anyone around. Up to 80-foot booms that reach 56 feet with a 10,000-pound capacity. 2 locations, North and South Parkway. Check them out today.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. When you need service on your vehicle, whether it's a Ford or any other make, you want to get into Woody Anderson Ford, where their expert service technicians will get it diagnosed and repaired right away, the right way. And while you are there, check out all the new and pre-owned vehicles at Woody Anderson as well. They are ready to make you the best deal possible. Visit Woody Anderson Ford today.
Woody Anderson Ford on Jordan Lane in Huntsville, Hughes Road in Madison, and online at woodyandersonford.com.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It is December 8th, 2025. Steve Moulton here with your sports update. After 15 weeks of college football, the playoffs are set. 6 different conferences are represented in the field for the first time in the playoff era since 2014. The playoffs will start Friday, December the 19th, with Alabama at Oklahoma. The first team out was Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish has also opted out of a bowl game, now one of 4 schools that have opted out. In the National Football League, Atlanta Falcon rookie edge James Pierce recorded his 6th sack of the season in Week 14. Pierce has a sack in 5 consecutive games, tied for the 4th longest streak by any rookie since 1982. Falcons fell at home to the Seahawks 37-9. Titans are winners on the road in Cleveland 31-29. Monday Night Football tonight features the 8-4 Eagles taking on the 8-4 Chargers.
The segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by the Orthopedic Center, longtime friends of the show. To be honest with you, it's been about 20 years that we have been hooked up with TOC, and they just do such a great job. They service the Huntsville Havoc, Alabama A&M, most of the high schools in the region. They got 13 locations all throughout the Tennessee Valley. So if you have an orthopedic problem, if you're considering professional care, really, TOC, it's the only logical choice. You need to contact TOC. Make your appointment. When you need them, they're there. Always in the Tennessee Valley, TOC.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on. Now live, here he is, the big dog, Thom Abraham.
How you doing? Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my elbow.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 to Thom Abraham Show on an Overreaction Monday in the Doghouse. We will get the phone lines opened up in just a few moments. I guarantee it. And then you guys can get in there. I've kind of gotten my rant out on a number of things. And I'll just say this about that. I understand the different things that you want to complain about with the system and how college football, sets up its playoff and who gets in, who doesn't get in, all of that kind of stuff. But you have to have a solution. Okay, if you're going to say this doesn't work, then you got to have a solution. And if you're going to take a team out, then you got to tell me who you're putting in and why that team is better than who they put in. I, like everybody else, am totally flummoxed by the Miami Notre Dame thing because they were separated by 8 spots a month ago. And both teams won every game since then, and both teams destroyed every team they played since then, winning by 34 a game for Notre Dame and 27 a game, something like that for Miami. And Miami steadily climbed up there and then jumped over them because they didn't move Alabama to 10 from 9 to 10. So because now once they got next to each other in the standings, now you're going to grade the 2 teams and flip them? I mean, it's odd. Okay, so if you had downgraded Alabama from 9 to 10 for losing in the SEC championship game and had Notre Dame at 9 and Miami at 11, then Notre Dame would have went. And they would have had to decide between Alabama and Miami, and Alabama wins that argument. It's just odd. All right, joining us now, a guy who's smarter than me. I don't know if he got it figured out. He is the one and only Kennington Lloyd Smith III of the AP. He's in Tuscaloosa covering the Tide and has an interesting perspective as well on Georgia since he's a Georgia grad. And he joins us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Kenny, welcome back. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Confused, but okay.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? I mean, big picture, you covered the Big Ten and so on. It does seem, before we get to the specifics of the SEC championship game in Alabama and Oklahoma, it does seem kind of odd that that Miami was able to track down Notre Dame like this. I mean, maybe it was wrong from the beginning, but there's a reason why they had them 8 spots different when this thing started 5 weeks ago. And then slowly but surely, Miami got closer and closer and closer, and then jumped them only because they ended up 10 and 11 in the rankings. Then they compare them to teams. I don't get that. And if you had slid Alabama down to 10, like everybody else who lost in their conference championship, they went down a little bit. If you slid Alabama down to 10, they would have been 9 and 11, and Notre Dame would be in. It's a weird deal.
Yeah. This is just a committee failure. From the beginning, I go back to the first playoff poll, whatever. If Notre Dame was on the outside looking in from the beginning, and the committee said, look, if you just watch Notre Dame play, they clearly look like one of the best teams, but their strength of schedule isn't there. Their key wins isn't there. They lost to Miami, so they're on the outside looking in. They need to keep dominating, and they can work their way up. Nobody would be upset today. Mm-hmm. What the committee did do, though, was put Notre Dame ahead of everybody for the entire season. And then last week, Hunter Yurchek gets on TV and says the conversation point is Notre Dame versus Alabama. That was what he said. He said the conversation is Notre Dame and Alabama. Well, only thing that changed between Tuesday and Sunday was Alabama getting crushed by Georgia. And then somehow it turns into a Notre Dame and Miami conversation. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So I think they got the right 12. I don't think anybody's debating the 12. The process was ridiculous. And it all started with the simple question I think we all should be asking ourselves today is, why was Notre Dame a part of this conversation to begin with?
Yeah. That's a great point.
Why were they even in the conversation to begin with? They could have just kept them out and said, this is a team that is balling. If you just look with your eyes, this team could be in the playoffs, but they don't have the metrics. They lost to Miami. They can work their way back in. That's how it's supposed to go. Not, well, they're just going to be in until the last week of the season and nothing has changed on the Notre Dame side, and then we're just going to leave them out. It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense at all. Kennington Lloyd Smith with us here. You say they got the right 12. I mean, we could say they got the right 10 by rule, and this is what has to be dealt with, right? By rule, we end up with JMU and Tulane in this tournament. The College Football Playoff Committee throws those 2 games on Saturday night during the NFL games when everybody's going to be watching the Packers and the Bears, not JMU and Oregon. That goes to show you how ridiculous it is. I mean, we could have had some really epic games, and in the meantime, we leave out a couple of other teams that like Notre Dame and Vanderbilt or Texas or whatever. That's what the discussion should have been. And you wonder whether or not Tom Luganville calls it inclusion over excellence, and you wonder whether or not that will be dealt with the next iteration of playoff. That at some point in time, somebody's going to say, look, with all the money that's out there and all the NIL and all the, it's just the gap is bigger than ever. The gap's not closing. The gap's getting wider and wider between the P4 and the G6.
Yeah. And I think that in some ways that's a fair argument, but I don't think the issue is the G5. I think we should just look at it and say the ACC sucks. That's the only reason why there's 2 G5 teams in the field is because Clemson sucks. It's because Florida State sucks. It's because Miami couldn't do what they needed to do to go to the ACC championship. That's the only reason why there's 2 G5 teams in. If Clemson and Florida State and Miami and Louisville and Virginia Tech and all these traditional pretty good teams would just be who they're supposed to be and read their line, there wouldn't be a need for 2 G5 teams in. But Clemson fell off, and Florida State is horrible. And Miami still can't get it together enough to go to the conference championship game. So we have Tulane and James Madison in. So I understand the fact that Oregon is going to crush James Madison and Ole Miss is going to crush Tulane. Okay, we understand that, right? But the reason why that they're in that position is because the ACC sucks.
Yeah.
That's why.
But you can make a case for, and as bad as they are, and I'm not making a case for a 5-loss team to be in the playoff. But what Manny Diaz said in the post game immediately when he said, when somebody said your team versus James Madison, he says, they don't beat people like this. We have 7 wins against the Power 4. They have 0 against the Power 4. I mean, they would beat James Madison, all over the place, but you can't put them in with 5 losses.
Yeah. That's like, yeah, but like, again, that just shows how little the committee respects the ACC. That the ACC champion can't even get in.
Yeah.
They can't even
Well,
get
the
in.
ACC needs to change it. If you get down to the 4th or 5th tiebreaker, the ACC needs to change their formula so that then if you have all those teams tied, the team that is the highest ranked team out of the teams that are tied should go to their championship game. That championship game Miami should have been in that championship game.
Yeah,
and they would
I
have
agree.
pounded Virginia. Yeah, and that would have worked.
I agree.
All right,
It's kind of funny because the ACC did all of that politicking to get Miami into the playoffs, but they didn't just put them in the ACC championship game. If you remember, in 2020, the Big Ten did a lot of backbending to make sure Ohio State made it to the championship so they could go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
The ACC pounded the table as much as they wanted to for Miami versus Notre Dame, but if they would have just put Miami in the ACC championship game, maybe Miami and Notre Dame get into the field.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Alabama. Let's talk about Alabama the way they finished the season. You can make the case that since they pounded Tennessee at home 37-20, that they have kind of stumbled to the finish line from there. They do beat South Carolina on the road at South Carolina, and these are the kind when I always talk about the SEC and the cumulative things. These are the kind of things that would have tripped up these other teams that think they belong in there. So you got to figure out a way to win these games week in and week out. They do beat South Carolina. They do beat LSU. It's still a thing. Beating Tennessee and LSU, even though they were unranked at the end of the season, those are still tough games that people in the ACC and the Big 12 are not playing. But I digress. They get beat by Oklahoma on their home field on a field goal late with a minute and a half to go in the game. And then they stumble their way through the Iron Bowl, but it's the Iron Bowl. Weird things happen at the Iron Bowl. And then they get head slapped against Georgia in that game. When you look at the full body of work, though, right, you still have to respect the full body. You can't just take a team and say, well, they stumbled their way to the finish line. We're going to knock them out, even though they were the number 1 seed in the SEC. Right? I mean, you still got to take the full body of work when you're putting teams in the playoff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Alabama, it's like crazy because like the SEC championship game really didn't mean anything at all. Georgia didn't move up and Alabama didn't move down.
Right.
Like it was like a game happened and it just didn't mean anything. Like, had Alabama beaten Georgia, obviously Bama moves up and Georgia moves down. But in this scenario, it just didn't mean a whole lot. As far as Alabama goes, like, I don't understand what the consternation is about why they're in the field when if we just line up the resumes, it's not even close.
That's not close.
Right?
It's Bama fatigue. It's SEC bias, Bama fatigue. That's all. Anybody who has a brain, because I say to them, everybody that says Alabama should, okay, tell me who should. And now let's put them side by each. And they never match up. They never stack up when you put them side by side.
Yeah. My mom called me yesterday, all upset. She's like, how did Alabama get into the playoffs? I was like, who did Alabama beat? She's like, oh, they beat Georgia. Right. Like, who did Notre Dame beat? She couldn't even name a team. It's like, there's not even a conversation there to be had. Now, is Alabama playing great right now? No. And I think I said this the last week we were on, like, what I felt like the SEC championship was going to come down to is Alabama today is still the same team that they were in late September. And Georgia is way better today than they were in late September. So is Alabama peaking at the right time? Are they doing all the cliche things, whatever that you expect to play a team? No. But when you look at the full body of work, I mean, they have better wins and have beaten more and have played a harder schedule than almost anybody. Like, I still think today, credit to Indiana, they beat Ohio State on a neutral field, but Bama winning in Athens is still probably the best win of the season.
Yeah.
So,
and I thought Georgia should have moved up to 2 because that's still, avenging a lot. And the way they beat Alabama, the smothering way that they beat Alabama, I thought that they beat a better team. I thought that was a better game than what happened between Indiana and Ohio State, as much as that was, I get that. But when you look at Georgia's full body too, I thought Georgia would have moved up to 2. But I don't think they wanted to separate the SEC like that. I think they wanted to keep I don't think they wanted 3 teams in that upper bracket. I think there was a lot of that going on, and we'll get to the bracket in a moment. There was a lot of that going on, though, when they were looking at that bracket, I think.
Yeah, but, in talking to people yesterday, from the Georgia side and the Alabama side, nobody's shedding tears about the draw that they got. Alabama got probably the best draw of anybody.
No doubt.
They got a chance to rematch Oklahoma, a team that they actually dominated on paper. They had 3 turnovers, lost. They're probably a favorite right now, maybe a pick 'em. And
they
then
are
they
a favorite.
play Indiana, and then Georgia gets Tulane or Ole Miss going into the semifinal round. It's going to be a tough game against Ohio State, but both of them they probably got the two best draws, right?
Yeah. No, I think Alabama. I'm going to put it on record right now. John, spin the big wheel there of get those 16-inch tape going right now and save this here. I'm going to tell you right now, the winner of the Alabama-Oklahoma game is going to the national championship game. That's what I'm going to say. That draw, to me, 2-3 in the bottom bracket is much more difficult than 1-4 in the top bracket. You know what I mean?
I thought the bottom was much harder than the top.
Right. Ohio State, Georgia, if they play in the semi, could be for the national championship. Look, all due respect to what Texas Tech and Indiana did, they're newbies to this whole thing. You know what I mean? They're in uncharted. They're in the deep end of the pool now. And this is a different deal. You got Ohio State and Georgia in the bottom half of the bracket. I think the winner of the Alabama-Oklahoma game is going to the national championship. The scariest team in the top of the bracket to me is Oregon, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Oregon probably has the most favorable draw, right? They're going to get James Madison and then Texas Tech. So that is, good on them. The Alabama-Oklahoma going to the national championship thing is interesting. I'm having a hard time disagreeing. I think that game is just going to be really fascinating, though, because all I said about Alabama and how they dominated Oklahoma the last time, Brent Venables getting that tape on Alabama's offense and then getting a chance to play them again while Alabama's offense looks like it's finding fewer and fewer answers is going to be a really interesting matchup. But I wouldn't be surprised if the winner of that game did end up, making a deep run. So we'll have to put a pin in that.
Now, the question is going to be, how can Alabama get back to playing the way they were playing? And when you go specifically to that championship game, I get that it felt like, obviously Georgia was dominating throughout the game, but it still was only 14-0 at the half. And there was a lot of chatter about, wow, look at Alabama trying to establish the run early on. They handed it off on first down and second down to start the game. They handed the ball off 7 times in that game. And it was only a 14-point game at the half. They handed it off 7 times. Where is the commitment to the run when that game didn't get out of hand, really 21-0 till 35 minutes into the game? It was about 5 or 6 minutes into the third quarter when Georgia scores again. Okay, now you got to throw every down. But I still question the commitment to running the ball.
Yeah, and I've said this before on the show, that Alabama's offense is really the same as it was last year. They just kind of traded one problem for another. In terms of last year, they could run, couldn't really throw. This year, they can kind of throw, can't run. But as we watch this offense week to week, what is Alabama's offense? Like, what's the identity of the offense? What does Alabama go into the game and try to do to teams? Because I feel like I'm watching a different offense each week.
Right.
And this offense doesn't have a rhyme or reason, right? Like there isn't, like so here's a prime example. Georgia, in that game, that last touchdown to Zachariah Branch, they spam those screens to Cass Jones, the running back, all year, all game. And then on this one play, they fake it to him and then they throw it to Zachariah Branch underneath as a touchdown. Where are those type of plays for Alabama, right? Like where are the plays that set up the plays when you need them in critical situations? Ryan Williams touches the ball in the first quarter. It's a 20-yard game. First play that he touches the ball, it is very apparent Georgia cannot tackle Ryan Williams.
Right.
He doesn't touch the ball for 2 hours after that.
Right.
He just doesn't touch the ball again. Right? Georgia is sending every blitz that you could possibly imagine. They're coming from every which way. There are no halfback draws. There are no screens. There are no quick passes. It is just, we're just going to drop back Ty Simpson. We're just going to try to throw it deep on Georgia. Well, Georgia's not the same defense they were in September. Right? You're not going to be able to do that anymore. So I don't understand from a game plan perspective what Alabama's trying to do offensively. Yes, Alabama's offense is beat up. I'm just going to say it now, and people and Alabama fans who want to be honest can agree with this. Jan Miller was not going to affect the outcome of that game.
No.
Right?
No, but I wonder about the offensive line affecting the outcome of that game. They had, it was a makeshift offensive line, but the guy who's supposed to be this top 5 pick in the NFL draft, Caden Proctor, again, getting beat around the corner, getting blown up, a couple of times pushed all the way back in there. I mean, goodness gracious, this guy's supposed to be one of the best, if not the best offensive tackle in the country. And he seems to still get roughed up at times.
Yeah, well, that's just kind of the thing with Proctor. He's an awesome talent, but the idea of him has always been better than the actual player. If you watched him for the last couple of years, and it was makeshift to a degree, but like Gino Vandermark, who came in for Cam Dewberry, is a fifth-year senior, right? Georgia was starting a freshman at center. So it's like when you compare, Gino Vandermark isn't like awesome, but like if you have a fifth-year senior backup, that's about as best that you can do, right? If you're talking about a backup, right? Okay, the fifth-year senior's played a lot, he started a lot, we're just gonna roll with it, versus maybe a freshman on the other side. So I just think the offense and the personnel kind of is what it is. This is what you brought Ryan Grubb in for, right? And I was on another station earlier today, and I just kind of asked the question. In the beginning of the season, you would undeniably say that bringing in Ryan Grubb was worth it. But as we sit here 13 games in, was the juice worth the squeeze? Like, did the hype match the production, right?
I would say yes. Now, see, I still would say yes. Because full body of work, I think so. Yeah, it's a fair conversation. But I think ultimately, yes, because of how Ty was playing. Remember, he was at one point in time in the middle of the season, he became the favorite for the Heisman Trophy. And then, I'll be honest with you, he looks shell-shocked now. I love that kid. I absolutely love what he stands for. I love his composure and his class. He looks shell-shocked out there. Was there ever a thought in your mind watching it and saying, you know what? I get that it's not the last game, when Nick Saban pulled that stunt and brought in Tua Tagovailoa, the freshman, and sat down Jalen Hurts, who had won 26 out of 28 games. I get that wasn't going to be another game until the spring practice, and he didn't have to deal with it until then. But was there never a moment in your mind, we were thinking at halftime, is it, you know what, maybe Austin Mack, Keelan Russell, one of those two dudes, comes in and sparks them, maybe a little more mobile, maybe something changes. I thought they should have made a move at the half.
Yeah, I think the mobility part of it is definitely a worthy conversation. It never really crossed my mind in that regard because I just didn't feel like the game, I didn't feel like it was like Ty just like missing blatant throws or missing people open. What I saw was the offensive line getting dominated. I saw Alabama's running back missing calls, right? A.K. Deere just completely goes the other way on a play. Ty Simpson has to take a knee on a play. I saw a game plan that was not conducive to winning. I didn't see any adjustments. So I don't know what another quarterback could have changed about that. And the thing is, and we said, we talked about this, Alabama's offense is quarterback reliant. The only way that Alabama's offense is going to get off is if the quarterback just has an awesome game. So the idea that Austin Mack or Keelan Russell is going to come in and just be incredible, it's kind of like, I don't know. It feels like kind of like a grasping for straws type of thing. And there was a lot of conversation about benching Ty Simpson. So it's not like it's not a legitimate conversation or a legitimate question, but I just didn't think it was Alabama is losing this game because Ty Simpson isn't playing well. I just think Alabama's offense kind of fell apart from all angles. So they're going to have to do some soul searching. Kalen DeBoer was emphatic after the game about how the injuries of this team kind of derailed their chances of winning in a way. So I'll be really interested to see if they can get these guys back and what they do against Oklahoma in the rematch.
Yeah, injury-wise, let's look at that. Jam Miller, I mean, it's crazy, too. Jam Miller's the leading rusher on the team, 493 yards, 13 games into the season, 493. I know he didn't play the 13th game, but the point is, Alabama fans are used to, somebody gained 1,200 yards. I mean, come on. But 493 yards is what leads this team. What's the latest? I know he's not giving up too much, but you got Josh Cuevas, which is very, very important. Jam Miller, Cam Dewberry, LT Overton. Where are we at with these guys? They got 2 weeks to get ready to play that game in Norman.
It feels like they're going to be full tilt for Oklahoma. I think Josh Cuevas is the one wild card. I'm not sure if you watched the SEC championship post game, but Kalen DeBoer was pretty emphatic about, we could have just had these guys in this game, and he was like, a week from now, 2 weeks from now, we're going to look completely different. So Jam Miller, will be back. Dewberry, Overton, Xavier Brown, everybody who was pretty injured, or Kelby Collins, anybody who's the last scratch, kind of questionable, I think is going to be full tilt to play against Oklahoma. Kalen DeBoer kind of hinted at that last night. I think Josh Cuevas is the wild card. He's the one that's going to kind of come down to the wire. So good outlook for Alabama health-wise. And, if you're an Alabama fan today, you have to feel, pretty good, right? Like, yeah, Georgia crushed you, but it didn't change anything because you didn't move at all. You got Oklahoma in a rematch, and you're going to get a lot of injured guys back. So, it's just a matter of can they, pull themselves off the mat and put together a good game plan to go win in Norman. But, health-wise, Alabama in 2 weeks, I think is going to be in a good spot.
They are a 1.5, 2-point favorite in that game. That shocked me. I thought that still Oklahoma at home would be a 2.5, 3.5 point favorite in that game. We'll see what happens in 2 weeks when it goes off. But right now, Alabama is the only road team of the 4 playoff games that is favored. And like you said, they just take care of the football. They beat Oklahoma at home. And then it's a different thing. They might even be playing this weekend, this upcoming first round. So it is going to be something to see. That's for sure. Kennington, Lloyd Smith has been our guest. Kenny, I appreciate you so much, man. It's going to be real now.
Yeah, no, I think this is going to be. I think there's going to be a great field once we get past the first round, right? Like there's going to be a lot of draggings, I think, in the first round. Once we get past that, though, I think we're gonna have an exciting end to the season. So I can't wait to see how it unfolds.
I think we're gonna have 2 good games. I think the Oklahoma-Alabama game will be good. I think Texas A&M Miami will be a good game. I think that'll be a good game. I think those 2 will be good. The other 2, they just slap those at night during the NFL games. They're like, here, we know you guys are watching the NFL anyway. Just watch the ticker, and you can see how bad Oregon's beating James Madison and Ole Miss is beating Tulane. I think that's what they did. But we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, man. Appreciate you as always. Great stuff.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thanks. All right, by the way, you maybe or maybe did not know this from over the weekend. Auburn also turned down a bowl game at 5-7. They were given the opportunity to play. As other teams were turning down bowl games, it opened to Auburn because of their academic progress rate, their APR. They were the next one up to get a bowl game, and they turned it down because Alex Kalish is still in the process of building his staff, blah, blah, blah. A bunch of guys are going to go into the transfer portal, blah, blah, blah. Why? Why turn the game down? Alex, go jump in there, start. What a great opportunity over 15 practices to show these guys that might be going to the transfer portal why they want to stay. Why not play? And they weren't the only ones. Florida State, Baylor, UCF, Rutgers, Temple, Kansas, all 5-7 teams that said, no, we're good. Don't need to play a 13th game. We're good. I don't understand it. But I haven't been a college football coach for 28 years, so it is what it is. All right, stack them up. Let's go. Let's get these phone calls going. We'll come back. Order of the longest wait next, right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Alabama Crimson Tide will take on Oklahoma at Memorial Stadium in Norman on December the 19th in the first round of the college football playoff. The Crimson Tide 25-1 to win the national title, a 1.5 favorite to beat Oklahoma with a total of 41.5. The winner moves on to beat Indiana in the Rose Bowl. The Hoosiers are plus 250, the second choice behind the favorite Ohio State Buckeyes to win the national title. The Buckeyes are plus 240. Troy and Jacksonville State meet in the Salute to Veterans Bowl, the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama on Tuesday, December the 16th. Troy, the 3-point favorite over the Gamecocks, 51.5 the total. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. When you need service on your vehicle, whether it's a Ford or any other make, you want to get into Woody Anderson Ford where their expert service technicians will get it diagnosed and repaired right away, the right way. And while you are there, check out all the new and pre-owned vehicles at Woody Anderson as well. They are ready to make you the best deal possible. Visit Woody Anderson Ford today.
Woody Anderson Ford on Jordan Lane in Huntsville, Hughes Road in Madison, and online at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bag compressor or leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490. AL certain number 21014.
The crimson and white jerseys.
Front court to the rack and the plunge.
The sound of a buzzer beater.
Got it to go as the buzzer sounds.
The Roll Tide chant from the crowd. It can only be Alabama basketball. Join the Alabama Crimson Tide right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Since 1986, Full Moon Barbecue has been cooking quality meats low and slow over a hickory wood-fired pit. From ribs and wings, brisket, turkey, catfish, and sausage to the best butts in town. If you're planning a holiday or a birthday party, Full Moon has a large banquet room. And Full Moon is ready for your next catering or tailgate. Just call us and we'll take care of everything. 256-713-0070. Full Moon Barbecue on the Parkway next to Costco. The best little pork house in Alabama. When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Our customers trust us not only to find the right hardware, but to advise them on the technology that makes them more efficient.
My Next Level team researches and discovers real solutions. Check-in software, HR, digital signature, and workflow software. It saves you money immediately. We hold your hand and stay with you through the transition.
We're taking our customers to the next level in business process automation.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by Ross Roberts and his team at Valley Equipment. I've known Ross for a while now, and I know one thing. I have seen Valley Equipment grow from a relatively small operator to a huge operator that takes care of everybody in the Valley with 2 locations now, not only on the South Parkway, but also on the North Parkway. You got to see that facility that they've got up there. So whether you're a homeowner looking for small equipment or whether you're a contractor looking for a big-time lift or big-time equipment, they've got it all at Valley Equipment Rental. Welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. I've got so many other thoughts that are banging around in my head, but I want to get to you guys now. Bama Brad, what did he do, John? He called in, he just talked to you during a break? You don't want to stand hold?
Yeah, the guys like to talk to me a little bit, you know.
So he's commenting about Ryan Grubb being on the sidelines compared to in the press box. What was his point?
No, he was saying
he's been down there for the last 3 or 4 games.
Exactly.
Is that a problem? So you're saying he'd be better off if he were upstairs because they were playing better?
I'm not
when he was
saying anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it started going south before that. He came down after the Oklahoma game. They tested that against Eastern Illinois, and then they did it, Iron Bowl and so on. All right, let's get to the line. Is this call screen correct now? Where am I at here? Am I starting with Wolverine Dan? Is he still there? Is that where we're going? Let's go Wolverine Dan first. Wolverine Dan, David, and Grumpy are up. Wolverine Dan, welcome to the show. How are you?
Very well. Thank you, Tom, for taking the opportunity to take my call. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to touch on a couple things, and then I got a couple questions. But let's start out with, I did honor your wishes last week, and I did not speak, which I understand, and I agree with you 100%. But now that it's been the new week here, starting this Monday,
yeah.
My friend, well, I wouldn't say my friend, the dude, whatever his name is up north, I think it's called Puddle Stop, and that's exactly what happened to you. Okay, and we both know it, and you know it, and don't you might want to go see some medical treatment because you're nuts if you think you're going to make the playoff and win the Super Bowl. Let's just get that straight out of the. You're done, dude. Put a fork in you now. With that said, how about those Red Wings beating the Kraken? Not to mention, my Pistons are hot, bro. They're really hot. And then how about my Michigan Wolverine basketball team? 30 to 40 points a game, they're beating people. Please bring Alabama. I'll go to your court. I want to play Alabama, and we will destroy you. You know that.
Well, you won't see them until the tournament, maybe. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. So that's done now. Lions are still they're hot and everything. Thank you, Green Bay, for what you did other night. Thank you very much. Now, with that said, let's talk about what happened Saturday night. Now, how do I approach this? Well, the game itself, I watched everything except the drive that Bama was helped by the refs to get 7 points. You got total stop, and it should have been a shutout. Period. It wasn't. So here's my question, and I'm not sure how this played out, and you can help me. So when Bama went into the game against Georgia, what were they ranked?
9.
When they finished playing the game, where were they ranked?
9.
How in the hell do you get puddle stopped on national television with -3 yards rushing and end up by staying where you're at, Tom? Please explain that to me.
I think they did it they were going to be in, and the question was, would they be 9 or 10? So I think they did it to set the bracket up the way they wanted to set the bracket up. I think that was the biggest thing is that they had because they were going to be in because they passed the test when you stack them up. They weren't going to put Miami and Notre Dame in. So I think it was just a matter of because the other teams that like BYU got beat worse than Alabama got beat. They only dropped 1 spot. So they could have dropped them to 10. If they'd have dropped them to 10, then Notre Dame and Miami would have been 9 and 11, and then they wouldn't have compared Notre Dame and Miami. I think they really wanted to compare Notre Dame and Miami.
No, well, I know what ESPN really wanted. It's called dollars. Anyway, with that said,
they're going to get the dollars either way. I mean, do you think? Wait a minute. Do you think ESPN wouldn't want Notre Dame in there? Notre Dame is the most popular national team in the country.
No, Notre Dame's got their own broadcasting station. You know that.
But the ESPN would have had Notre Dame on in the playoffs.
SEC's affiliated with the ESPN. You know that.
Yeah, but ESPN gets all of the games in the playoffs, so it doesn't matter. They could get Notre Dame then, and Ohio State and Indiana, and those good teams from the Big Ten.
You sort of answered one of my questions. You said that Alabama are the powers that be placed them where they're at, didn't move either way, okay, because of their position. They thought that was a good spot. You just said about 10 minutes ago that is a good spot because you think that Alabama can beat Oklahoma in Oklahoma, okay? Now, if they do beat Oklahoma, they end up by playing Indiana. Where are they going to be playing Indiana at?
Rose Bowl. A national. I think that's the best possible draw. They really did. Alabama got a really favorable draw. This is the best possible scenario for Alabama because not only that, think of this. If they beat Oklahoma, remember, they had 200 yards more of offense than Oklahoma when they played them. They fumbled the ball. They turned the ball over 3 times. If they beat Oklahoma in Norman, where they're a 2-point favorite, they then play Indiana at the Rose Bowl. Indiana has got to be starry-eyed about this whole thing. Indiana is very good. But if they were to beat Indiana, then they would play the winner of the Texas Tech-Oregon game. Do you know where they play that game? In Atlanta at the Peach Bowl, right around the corner. I mean, they gave them – Alabama's got a really good draw here. They got a really good draw here. As opposed to having to play Georgia or Ohio State, they would be playing Texas Tech and Indiana.
Well, you can do all the draw you want to do, but when you rush for -3 yards, and you're going to be
well, remember that's because of the sack. I mean, look, it sucked no matter what.
Indiana's going to shut you down.
They could.
Bottom line is this. Yeah. This is, and you know what? I applaud these teams to boycott because it's a bunch of hooey as far as I'm concerned. You know,
so
why
you think you don't like Michigan playing Texas? What a great opportunity! Michigan and Texas. What a great game! Michigan and Texas.
That game.
You're out of your mind.
My game. I don't want to watch.
See, then you're not a real college football fan if you're not watching Michigan and Texas.
No. I don't like the fact that bags of money get put on front doors in the middle of the night. Okay.
What about if it was Michigan and Notre Dame? Wouldn't that be great?
What?
Michigan and Notre Dame. Wouldn't that have been great? Notre Dame should have played.
Well, I have no control over that.
Okay. Good job by you. Thanks for the call over and David is up next. David, welcome to the show. How are you? David, you sound like a girl.
Yeah,
Sure, David. David's talking.
Exact same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right here. Yeah, the same thing.
I don't know about that.
Hey, David.
David!
Hey, David! David!
Is this number?
All right. I mean, we
can... No, we get a number. We don't want to get the number. David, call back. Cut off, David. Grumpy is next. Grumpy, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. So while I was on hold, you said that Auburn said take us out of the mix for a bowl game, even though
they turned down. They were offered. Auburn was offered a bowl game, and they turned it down. They said that the statement from Auburn was, "We have declined the opportunity to play in a bowl as we've already progressed deeply into the off-season timeline preparation for the 2026 season." To me, I don't understand why the preparation wouldn't be 15 practices in December with your new staff. I'd have played.
Yeah, I see that part of it. But I also see a part where, you want your first steps as a program, as a new coach and everything to be positive. And you never know, man. You could get into a bowl game and get your ass whipped, and then all of a sudden we got a big, I think that winning a knockoff bowl game is not worth the risk of maybe starting off on the wrong foot and embarrassing yourself.
Well, they think they got 6 or 8 top players that are going to go into the transfer portal. So my thought would be is that maybe you could influence those players through those 3 weeks of practice. Maybe you could influence those players to stay, and say, look what we're building here. We need you.
Plus, they get, I don't know how the NIL money works on an off-campus game, but you could probably put some money in some kids' pockets too, right? More than usual NIL.
You would think it. The day is going to come for these bowl games. The day is going to come that the bowls are going to have to pay the players.
Sure,
the bowls will be paying players to play in their game.
Hey, I wanted to say this too, man. I don't understand why. Well, Philip and I get along. I never met the guy, but he said today what I've been saying for years on this program is that, you said that you're not going to have equity. I think you said that a minute ago, but you're going to have equity. You're going to be forced to have equity and share more with smaller teams, either voluntarily or you're going to have it forced on you. College football is.
So how do you think it would force them? If you're saying I
think the reason that James Madison is in this is legal reasons. Is that the access had to be granted legally, or or the court system would come in and take your money from you and hand it to smaller schools because you'd get sued and lose because they have to have a bite at the apple. I mean, I think that's what who's Moulton says.
Yeah, but who would be? I don't know. He's right. They would sue. Those conferences would sue for access. But who are they suing and why? Who says that they have to have? How could the college football playoff? First of all, it's not the NCAA. The college football playoff is a private entity. All right, it's its own entity. So my question is this: if the college football playoff said, we're just going to have a playoff between the Big Ten and the SEC and forget about everybody else, how can you sue them? I mean, it's not their. I mean, they could do whatever they want. They're a private company.
That's not why I called. Take that up with Moulton. That's not why I called. Yeah. But it will come through that you will have to include these teams. Put it this way, James Madison wouldn't be in this program it wouldn't be in this playoff unless they had to be. I don't think they just extended an olive branch. I mean, there was reasons that these smaller schools are involved. But the reason I called is everybody's already said that. Everybody already knows that when we should do away with the buys, no buys. If you have a program that is ranked in the top 4, that means you probably have better athletes, you probably have better coaching, you probably have a better program in general, and you probably have a lot of cash. And you're telling me that you want to watch good ball games and you don't want these James Madisons in because it's not good football and it's not good ball games. But yet you're allowing buys, which is promoting one team to have more advantage over a weaker team and probably affect the score and have a worse ball game. You're stacking the odds.
The funny thing is all the bye teams lost last year in the first round, in their first game they played.
Well,
so
but that'll work itself out. This year, all of them will probably win. You're a gambling guy. But my point is I think that your reward should be a 1 gets to play a 16 once you get those other teams in there, not a 1 gets a week off. And then you get to host a game. Your hotel rooms get full. Your restaurants get full. Right now, you're setting an example where there's students at Alabama that if you had an undefeated season and you were ranked number 1, there are people down there that are Alabama fans that would be rooting for Auburn in the Iron Bowl because
so they can get a home game.
They would probably make 2 or 3 more % of their income if they can get that one game. The waiters, the waitresses, the hotel people. Right. They would say, let's try to fall to 4 or 5 so we can get a home game. We don't need to be 1 through 4.
Yeah, I think they're going to get 8. I think you'll get 8 of those. Thanks for the call, Grumpy. It's a good job by you. I have a plan. I'm not going to have time today to get to really lay the whole thing out. I have a thought of this whole thing, and I think we're going to go to 16, which will eliminate buys. Some say 14 with 2 buys, but I'm going to say 16, no buys. Here's going to be the big question. When is this tournament going to end? Because they got to fix the calendar. They've got to fix the college football calendar so that the players aren't leaving and the coaches aren't leaving in December. We have to get the college football season over before the second semester. We have to get back to having the national championship game on January 1st or January 2nd. We got to get back to that. And I'm going to say this right off the bat. Some teams play that week 0 game, which this year was, for example, August 23rd and 24th, where the colleges are just opening. That should be the first week of college football. Everybody should start that week, the August 23rd or 24th. Everybody. That's the first thing that has to happen. Fix the calendar. Everybody plays August 23rd, 24th. That weekend. The rivalry games are the weekend before Thanksgiving. Not Thanksgiving weekend, the weekend before Thanksgiving. The rivalry games. The conference championship games, Thanksgiving weekend. 16 teams. That requires 15 games. And you go the following week, and the national championship game is January 1st or 2nd. Then you have the portal. Then you have the signing day. Then coaches can leave and go to other programs. Fix the calendar. Now we're going to break. It's Thom Abraham Show. Come back and wrap it up next.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
In the market for a newer used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your number one choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. Are those new school clothes wearing out that old washer and dryer? Well, it's time to get off the bus at Owen Home Appliance Center and learn what a new Speed Queen washer can do for you. They're in stock and are ready for delivery now. At Owen Home Appliance Center, quality products, quality pricing, quality service. It's right there in the name, Owen Home Appliance Center. 2 locations to serve you, Highway 36 in Somerville and the interactive location at Highway 231 in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river.
Hey folks, Arthur Seed, managing partner at University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Alabama and Auburn football. Swing by University Kia today and check out our huge selections of brand new Kias, including the spacious Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the slick new K5, the sporty Kia Seltos. We've got perfect cars for every lifestyle and budget. Visit universitykia.com to view all our amazing offers and get pre-approved amenities, because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide, War Eagle.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
College football lives here.
Daniels quick out left side, trying to make a man miss. They do. But ball down, and it's a tackle. It's a fumble, and Alabama's got it.
Mateer to throw, looking right. Has time, deep across the middle, wide open behind the defense. Atania all alone. Touchdown! 58 yards. Sooner magic on a Saturday night.
College football lives here.
Fernando takes the snap, hands it to Kalon Black, pounds his way forward. Touchdown, Indiana.
Snap back to Gunner. He'll throw it. Caught by Branch. He twists. He pivoted in and scrambles into the end zone for the 4 yards.
The fake to Lacey down the field. He's got a receiver. Caught at the 35, the 40. Breaking free to the 45, to the 40 is Alexander. He could go. He does. Touchdown, Ole Miss.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The holidays are here, and so is the holiday pizzazz at Loring & Company Fine Jewelers. At Loring & Company, they know this season is all about family, time, and meaningful connections. And when it comes to finding that perfect gift, they make it easy, enjoyable, and unforgettable. Step into a sparkling world of the world's most desired jewelry brands, all in one place. Their friendly, experienced staff is ready to help you discover something extraordinary. Whether you're shopping for a spouse, a parent, a child, or treating yourself to a little festive shine, finding the right gift doesn't have to be stressful. At Loring & Company Fine Jewelers, it's a pleasure. They'll help you choose a piece that says exactly what you want it to say, beautifully. This holiday season, let the Loring family welcome you into theirs. Visit Loring & Company Fine Jewelers at 800 Airport Road in Huntsville and shop anytime at loringjewelers.com. Add a little holiday pizzazz to your celebrations at Loring & Company Fine Jewelers. Cheering on your favorite team can really work up an appetite. When you're ready to fill up, head straight to Cheeseburger Bobby's for one of their 2 great fall specials. First, Bobby's Grand Slam with 2 fresh hand-breaded chicken tenders, 2 mozzarella sticks, cheeseburger slider, fries, and drink, just $13. Or choose Bobby's Mexicana Burger, just $9.99, or the meal, just $14.99. This week, get $50 worth of delicious Cheeseburger Bobby's food for just $25 with our zone deal. Order online at cheeseburgerbobbies.com.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by the award-winning service department at Woody Anderson Ford. That's right. They take care of the routine checkups. They keep your Ford or other brand in perfect working order. But if you have a bigger problem, they got these expert service technicians that can diagnose it, use state-of-the-art tools to get it resolved. I take my vehicles there. I've been doing it, for nearly 20 years now. It's Woody Anderson Ford and the service department. Second to none. Check out Woody Anderson Ford today.
Hey, Joe Bulls, Merry Christmas.
Manoj.
I heard you saw Janusz.
Yeah, my paisan. Let me tell you what he got me this year. On the first day of Christmas, my paisan gave to me a ride in his IROC Z.
Yeah, it won't be long now.
On the second day of Christmas, my paisan gave to me
The only thing that's going to be long is until it's Christmas Day for the Big Dog family. As we've now settled on a date to get everybody together. Remember, in our family, those of you that listen to the show know this, Thanksgiving Day, it's a requirement that everybody is here for Thanksgiving Day. And then we sent them on their way if it didn't go with their in-laws and their other peoples and things like that for Christmas. But we do try to get everybody together for a Christmas brunch because eventually we do have to have a rip and tear and have some, a good time at Christmas time. So, but trying to get a date, everybody's traveling, they're going to their in-laws, they're doing this, they're doing that. John, I don't know if you saw, the date has been set. It's Sunday, January 4th.
Oh, yeah. Taking it to the new year, baby.
Sunday, January 4th is when Christmas at the Abrahams is going to be. Put it on your calendar, John.
Oh,
holy man!
I mean, I'm still going to be able to come over though and like enjoy the morning, with you, Mom, and Betty.
Well, no. Anybody that wants to come, you can come. You can come spend the night Christmas Eve if you want.
Okay, good.
Christy and the girls will be here spending the night Christmas Eve. So anybody that wants to come, and anybody who's related to me, I don't mean anybody. I don't want Wolverine Dan coming and spending the Christmas Eve at my house. Jay in Athens sent me a hilarious picture. It's Rudy. It's a picture of Rudy, and he's in a University of Miami jacket, and it says, "Look who's in the transfer portal."
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. Good job by you, Jay. That is the text of the day. Rudy is in the transfer portal. Get in a conference, Notre Dame. They did you dirty a little bit, but if you think you're helping yourself by skipping a bowl game, see how that plays down the road when it's close. They're going to give you the fungu for doing that. That's a bad move, Notre Dame. Bad move. All right, this show is over. We'll do it again tomorrow from Baumhauer's on the South Parkway. Come see me. Have a great night, everybody.
It is December 8th, 2025. Steve Moulton here with your sports update. After 15 weeks of college football, the playoffs are set. 6 different conferences are represented in the field for the first time in the playoff era since 2014. The playoffs will start Friday, December the 19th.